Alrighty. Good morning, guys. Welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Feels good. Feels good to be Friday. Finally. Finally. Have some weekend plans this week, so I'm excited. Usually I have no plans because I don't do anything. This weekend I have some plans, so finally excited to do something. I don't know if you guys are the same. I'm a pretty big introvert. Don't do too much. Play too much Halo. Look at stocks too much. I enjoy my house too much. That's my life. What about you guys? Good morning. Snap, Amazon, big moves. Snap, bigger move. Huge move on Snap. I got some. It's the only other thing I like to do. I like to go to big car shows, so I got a big car show planned. I'm going to with my car. That's always fun. Snowstorm in Ohio, still shut down. Yeah, Florida's sunny and beautiful. No, I don't. It's not a bad thing, Lava. I embrace my my introverted self. I enjoy it. It's not a bad thing. So here we go. So yesterday, eventually, Chef, I'll make it down there or up there. I'll make it up there. Yesterday we got the move. Right? We got the move lower down into support. We tested it and we bounced off of it off earnings. And if you guys watched my, you got your shirt, Kasim? Nice, man. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy the shirt. Happy you finally got it. We got the bounce off of earnings, and I talked about in my video yesterday. If anyone watched it, I didn't trust it. The market was only bouncing because of earnings, and I was a little bit. I didn't really trust it too much. So I guess you can see, guys. This morning we are right back down. I got a Audi TTRS. I'll see if I can pull up a picture of it. Let's see. Where would I have a photo of it on my computer? Let's see. I'll pop up a photo real quick. If I can find one. Here it is. This is my car. That's my car. Yeah, I love it. I might sell it though. I have like $15,000 in equity in it. I put no money down, and the car just is appreciated like crazy because they stopped making them. And you guys also know the used car market is wild. So this actually was a great investment. This was actually a great investment for me. So I might sell it. We'll see. I can make $15,000, and I might do something else with it. Maybe just save my money because it's a pretty expensive payment. I don't know if I need to be paying that much for a car. I like cars. It's the only thing I spend my money on. I literally don't spend money on anything else besides cars. It's just who I am. Everyone that knows me knows that. That's the only thing I like. Cars and stocks. Everything else, just I don't really care about it. But it might be my best trade of 2022, right? $15,000. So we got a bounce yesterday because of earnings, and we're right back down into it. So that was what I talked about in my video yesterday. I don't know if I trust that bounce. I still don't know if I trust it. So we'll talk about that today. We have some huge economic news this morning. 8:30, big economic news. Jobs. You have non-farm payrolls. We have the unemployment rate. And the reason why I think this is important is because this is like what the Fed has talked about. What they are really watching is the job market. So this is going to be big, 8:30. We'll see what the reaction is. Earnings, not much left on the docket this week. We've basically done all the big earnings this week, but next week we'll have some more coming through. I don't know if I have an earnings calendar for next week quite yet. So we'll pop that up next week. But today it would be all in the pre-market, and I don't really see anything that crazy. Royal Caribbean is probably the one. That could be interesting. But besides that, nothing much on the earnings calendar. Amazon, does it hold today? That's going to be, let's talk about that. Snapchat turns a profit finally. So that's why you guys are seeing Snapchat move higher. It did finally turn a quarterly profit. It did have some positive free cash flow for the quarter. So that's good news for Snap. It makes sense why it went up, because Snapchat was down 25% yesterday because of Facebook. It had nothing to do with Snapchat in their company. So Snapchat dropped 25% because of Facebook, and it had nothing to do with their company. They come out with good earnings, and we're basically just right back to where we were. I know it looks like a huge move, but if we zoom out, it really is not that crazy of a move on the daily chart. So we'll look at it. Netflix below that key 414 level. Let's take a look at that. NVIDIA sitting at key support. Oil. I don't know if you guys have seen oil. Oil has been rallying. For the first time in a very long time, oil is above $90 a barrel. So that's why the prices of gas is going up. Oil has been on an absolute tear. So crazy. We'll take a look at that. XOM probably gets a little bit of love off that. CVX probably gets a little bit of love off that. But /CL, the oil futures, are up quite a bit, and they're up again this morning. Facebook, 235 gap filled. It filled the gap. So we were watching this 235 gap fill. Shout out to Sierra for pointing that out to me in the Discord. We filled that gap yesterday. So that's interesting. Let's take a look at that. Really tough rejection on Google at all-time highs, which makes a lot of sense because you can't really see. It's really hard to see a stock like Google, going through all-time highs and continuing through all-time highs in the market that we're in right now. As strong as Google was, it's pretty difficult to see a stock like that push and continue past all-time highs in a market that's still very far off the highs and still very weak. So really tough rejection on Google. And then Qualcomm, we talked about Qualcomm yesterday, had a very nice push into that all-time high again and got a brutal rejection again. So let's look at that level. Let's see how the economic news affects us today, and let's just get a good understanding of what we can expect today. So we got about 22 minutes before the reports come out, so let's get through these futures contracts. Let's get a good idea of what's going on. So daily chart, you guys know daily chart will start with the daily, and we'll take a look at what's going on here. So first of all, we got our push, right? And we got our push, right into that 20 SMA, right into this 15,000 area, started to get the rejection. Now, if we break this down a little bit closer, what you guys are going to see is that we did get a pop yesterday. If you watched my video yesterday, we talked about us getting this pop. We get this pop off 14,550, right? This is my golden zone. You guys know we did this here in the live stream a few days ago. The golden zone on the NASDAQ right here, 14,550, 14,005, right in that area. I would consider this a very, very important zone here on the NASDAQ. Let's just call it right around there. That's big. I mean, that's like if you had a seesaw, and which way does it tip? Because this is going to be huge today. Which way does this seesaw tip? Do we fall below or do we hold it? Right now, there are signs of a hold. You guys can see we got the break, right? Break, retest. However, we got the retest yesterday and we bounced because of Amazon earnings. We tried to hold it and we did not, right? So I didn't really quite trust this move because of earnings. It's not really a natural bounce. I don't want to say it's I mean, I guess you could say it's sort of an artificial bounce because of an earnings report. We fell back down to it this morning, and we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to hold. So this is everything today, guys. This is all you should really be watching. If this does break down today on the NASDAQ, you are going to have some downside on tech stocks. You guys can see it right here. Very, very obvious. So that's what I'm watching. That's really all we need to watch here. Jobs report might even influence where this goes here, in about 20 minutes. So that'll be important to watch. But if we do see this breakdown and we see something like this, I would assume this market gets right back into this area. And we probably need to look for the downside. So let's watch that. 14,550, double bottom right now. It's not looking too strong, to be honest, but we all know the market can do some crazy stuff. And maybe the jobs report helps us hold up. I'm not sure. We'll have to see in about 20 minutes. But that is the monster level today, guys, right there on the NASDAQ. So that is really all I need to share with you, because that is really what's most important right now. ES. The ES is not quite back to that golden zone for me. However, it's trying to hold some support in this area right here, around this 44.80. You guys can see that. But this is the big level on the ES, right around 44.40. Why is it this level? It's because this is all your previous resistance, and this is where that breakout occurred. Yeah, a pretty good head and shoulders as well. I see it. Yeah, it's definitely there. Can't ignore that. So nice resistance there. Resistance. We got the breakout. We got the little continuation, and now you're getting that pushback lower, right? 44.80 is right now where you're trying to hold. If I go to let's go to the 10-day, 30-minute. So you can see we're trying to do something around this level, this 44.80. However, I would assume we probably need to come back and test this 44.40. So this is the same golden level that I'm watching on the NASDAQ. You guys can see right here. Right there. You guys can see it. It's very similar to the ES. The ES is just slightly outperforming right now. So 44.40, huge on the ES. And let's see if we can hold above this 44.80, right? That's what I'm looking at today. We got the push yesterday because of earnings, and we fell right back down. So just a little bit of a pump fake, in my opinion. Didn't really trust this yesterday. I don't know if you guys watched my video, you sort of got my feelings on that. So that's the ES. I mean, that's the major two levels I'd watch today. This is, when you're at key levels like this is really all that I am focusing on here today. I really just need to see what does the market do here. It's gonna be telling to see what the market does at these levels. The Dow, I think the Dow is down the most this morning. Let me see. Yeah, the Dow is down the most. The Dow took a nice slip. We bounced here yesterday a little bit because of just natural, market moving higher type of movement. But we got the big slip this morning. So you can see the Dow is almost back into the golden zone for me. You guys can see right here. You have this resistance, and we are trying to hold support very close to that area, right around 34,700. So that is another key level that I am watching here today, 34,700 on the YM, on the Dow. Does it hold? We are pulling back to it right now. This could either be a fantastic break and retest and a hold, or we are pushing higher, we're pushing back lower, and we reject it if we try to break back above, and we do something like that. That is the two scenarios that we are looking at here today. Probably not today, but maybe, over the next few weeks. So that's what I'm watching as on the Dow, 34,700, keeping a very close eye on that level. Russell just rejected. The Russell never got over, the golden zone that I'm talking about would have been because the NASDAQ is the NASDAQ's just slightly weaker. The NASDAQ is slightly weaker. You got that tech underperformance, and that's why the NASDAQ is the only one that's actually touching it. You got that NASDAQ underperformance. That's something you should take into consideration, right? The NASDAQ is the one that's double bottom. The NASDAQ is the one that came closer, and the one that is underperforming. For the Russell, this was the zone that every other index got over, right? This was the zone that you guys see every other index got over. And you can see the Russell did not, right? The Russell did not. The Russell rejected this and never got over. So it's clear the Russell is weaker than all of the indices, right? Small caps are still under pressure. So small caps weak, never got over the level. NASDAQ, second weakest, the only one that has retested this level and is looking like it may try to slip below. The ES is probably, ES and YM are the two that are holding up pretty well, right? ES is slightly higher, still coming back, very similar, and then the YM is sort of still above there as well. So if we were to rank these, right, weakest, Russell, NASDAQ, and then the ES and the Dow, a little bit stronger because of their diversification out of tech. That's why, because tech just continues to be the weak spot, tech and small caps. So that's the futures, guys. Make sure to have those levels on your screen. I'll go over them one more time if you missed it. NASDAQ, 14,550. S&P 500, 4440. Dow, 34,700. And the Russell, we never got above it, so 2,040 is the top side resistance. All right. Those are the futures, guys. Here's the economic calendar for today. I forgot we never went over that. At 8:30 in about 15 minutes, non-farm payroll is going to be big. Unemployment rate, big. Average hourly earnings and labor force participation rate. All at 8:30. This is all coming out in about 14 minutes. So that is a must watch today. So we'll see how that reacts. All right. Let's start with, let's just go ahead and continue with a few names that we're looking at. So first is Amazon. Let's take a look at Amazon, guys. First of all, I don't want to say congratulations yet. You're still good if you bought calls. You're still good, but you're getting awfully close, right? Because the expected move was, I think, around $230 on Amazon. I think you needed to stay right around 3,000. Right above 3,000 is where you need to stay for calls. So you're still there. If you're in calls, you still got it. But of course, you would have rather it open up here. But Amazon is slipping this morning. Just needs to stay above around 3,000 for calls to go up today at open. So just, you want to definitely see Amazon open above 3,000 today if you are in calls. So congratulations, anyone that took those. Of course, we all know earnings are a gamble, but of course, I got to congratulate the people that are going to be potentially nicely up this morning. So very nice. Amazon, good push. The one thing that I see floating around, which I also looked up myself, Amazon's revenue was like heavily due to Rivian, the Rivian shares. So that's a little bit concerning. I don't know, right? Isn't that sort of interesting? Let me see if I can get the actual number. Yeah, so they had profits of $14.3 billion, and 11.8 of that was from Rivian, or the stake in Rivian stock. So that's a little bit strange, right? I mean, that's something that I think is sort of discounting the fact of how much money they made. It's because it's almost all due to Rivian stock. So yeah, I don't know. Amazon is still a company that I just don't see much movement on this stock. It's just I don't know. I mean, look at what's been going on in this stock for almost a year now. It's an interesting name. I don't have any shares of Amazon, just to throw it out there. I'm not a big investor in Amazon. But we did get the push. Where did we push into? We pushed into some pretty nasty rejection levels, actually. If we look at this 4-hour chart, guys, look at where we sort of pushed into here on earnings. So we have these previous lows here, right around 31.70. And look at where Amazon sort of rejected, right? You guys can see right here. So we got the move lower. We got the pushback on earnings. This is sort of like a break and retest to the downside, in my opinion. You guys can see support, broke down, came back up, rejected. Is this a potential rejection point on Amazon? Yeah, I don't want to make bold claims because that's not really what I like to do, but I got to be honest with you. In my gut, I have a bad feeling as well about this one. I do have a bad feeling about this one as well. So I'm definitely going to be watching this today around 3,200. We'll see, if it tries to. I don't like how it's rejecting this level. You can see it's a very clear rejection right here at this level. Yeah, I mean, Amazon's never going to have bad earnings. That's not going to happen. Amazon's always going to make a ton of money. I mean, Amazon is Amazon. They make a ton of money. Now, how the stock performs is a different story sometimes, guys. So you guys can see that's our resistance. You can see what's happening here in the pre-market, and you guys can see we're slipping off that resistance. So today, if I was watching Amazon, I would just watch this 3,200. And I would look to see if Amazon pushes back into it. And if it does, I would look for maybe something off that. Maybe a little rejection off 3,200 today. That's sort of what I am watching here on Amazon today. And I'm also watching the fact that we are breaking below these lows and starting to actually hold below them. You guys can see right here. I was watching this morning. Right here. You can see support, right? And then we break below it here in the pre-market, and we're sort of rejecting it already, right? If that's what we see, that could be another pretty nasty rejection point. So watch this 31, right around this 3120, 3110 level, and then watch 3,200. That's what I'll be watching today on Amazon. Does it fill the gap? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see, can we find, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see that gap just yet, but the gap would be, I don't know, guys. I mean, the gap's pretty massive. I don't know if we fill that gap, but, maybe we do. It would be all the way back down to 2,800. That would be hard to see. But maybe we do get a little bit of weakness today. Profit takers, I'm sure, are going to be all over this. There are a lot of people. Something to consider, guys. There are a ton of people stuck in this stock, right? Maybe around this 3,000 level, 3,100, 3,200 level. Maybe this is their chance to sort of take some profits here on this earnings pump. That is another possibility. So I would expect there to be some profit taking here on Amazon. So watching 3110, watching 3,200. We'll see what that does today. Snapchat just got wrecked the day prior because of, look at this, man. Holy crap. So just a huge gap down on Snap. This was because of Facebook earnings, and we bounced because of their actual earnings. So this one I like. I don't like it, but it makes sense to me because a stock shouldn't fall based off another company's earnings. And that's sort of what we got, right? Snapchat dropped 25% off of Facebook earnings. And it just popped basically right back to where it was because Facebook earnings doesn't have anything to do with Google or Snapchat actual numbers. So Snapchat's actual numbers were pretty good. So we basically just came right back to where we were. That's really where Snapchat is, right? Snapchat is back to where we were basically on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Right there. So, what does Snapchat do now? I don't know, guys. There's a lot of there is going to be a lot of resistance here if we do start to push higher. So if you zoom out for a second and go to the 4-hour chart, this is really all Snap did off earnings. Does it, maybe try to hold this 34, 35 and push higher again? You just got to watch out for these resistance levels, right? We got a lot of resistance levels here. We got right around where we peaked, which is right at this previous low, right around 40. We got this previous low around 44. It looks like we got a big level here at 48. Let me see, where do I have that level at? Yeah, look. So you got a huge level here at 48. This is on the weekly chart, if you even get up to that. Right there around 48. You guys can see this monster level. Support, support, support. that will most definitely turn into resistance if we do get any type of move into that. But even before 48, you got quite a bit of levels here to be on the lookout for. So just be careful on this one today, guys. You got 40, which is a nasty rejection. You got 44, which is another potential very nasty rejection. And then you got the 48. So a lot of levels and a lot of people taking profits, a lot of people, cutting losses, a lot of people getting out if they start to see this move, right? This move is going to be met by a lot of sellers. A lot of sellers that maybe don't want to be in this stock anymore, that see their position become break even or slightly profitable. That is when you start to see those sellers stacking up. That is exactly what we saw in AMC when you guys were making me look at this stock here on early this week. Everyone was freaking out about AMC last week into Monday. And I can tell you, look exactly what happened, guys. This is your opportunity for sellers to get out of the stock. Look at what happened. We pushed higher. It's a pump higher. And this is your opportunity. Anyone that's been trapped in this stock around 18 from here or even years ago, you can finally get out for a profit or break even. So these stocks, these pumps, they are going to get sold into. That's how it works. So you can see what happened here on AMC. We pushed higher. Everyone freaked out. Retail traders were probably getting into this thing. And boom, sellers stacked up, back down. So that's sort of what I don't want to see that happen on Snap, because I do sort of, I don't own any Snap shares, but I would like to see it succeed. I don't want to say it's a good company, but it's a company that I would like to see succeed for the overall market. But it is maybe looking to get sold into today as well. So watch out there. Netflix. Yeah, maybe not all of you, but you got the random people that come in, because they're all jacked up about AMC today, that come into the live stream that want us to look at it. So 414 on Netflix. That was a big level. We are below it, and this is interesting to me. So I was watching this yesterday. I tried to make a trade off of it, I couldn't catch it. If I go to the 1 minute chart, I'll tell you guys where I was trying to catch a trade off of it, actually. I was trying to catch a trade off of it sort of in this area. So I was looking for it to reject this 414 right here and start to do what it did, but I was too early, right? I was looking for this. Push higher, bear flag, downside, right into 414. That was my key level. You can see we pushed into it. Now, if I was a little bit more patient, which I was not, I ended up closing down you guys saw my video yesterday. After around 12:15, I just closed it down. I was done for the day. I didn't want to look at this anymore. So I did miss this. This was beautiful. You guys can see a little bear flag at 414, break and retest to the downside, and then you're flush. So nice Netflix movement, and look at what it's doing this morning. Look at where it's rejecting again. Right? Look at this rejection right at 414. Why is that an important level? That is an important level because that is right where this market pushed higher. Right here, guys. You can see it right here. 414. Big level for Netflix. That's where the breakout occurred, and we are now back below it. And if you do this, where you come back below a previous support, turn it into resistance, then I would be looking for downside. So I'm definitely going to be looking to see what Netflix does today. Does it reject off 414 again? Is this some easy downside? Maybe, if we break these lows, do we come back down to maybe this 390, 392 area? That's sort of what I'll be looking for today on Netflix. Do we break the 404 lows, and do we keep 414 as resistance? All right, so that's Netflix. We'll take a pause right here. We'll jump back into NVIDIA, Oil, Facebook, Google, and Qualcomm after the jobs report, or the non-farm payrolls. If you guys could take 1 second while we wait for the reports to press that like button, that would be fantastic. If you could just take 1 second out of your time, press the like button. So if you guys are just joining, it's 8:29. We're about to get the non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, and labor force participation. And we are going to see the live reaction to that right now. Let's see what happens. Okay. That is a red candle. That is a bigger red candle. This could very well be the reason why we drop below this level here. That red candle is getting bought up. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. I'm trying to get the numbers. Let me know if you guys got the numbers. Am I still in Walmart? No, sold it. Sold it. I'll show you where I sold it. Right here. Sold it yesterday. No, Tuesday. Closing Walmart, 40% gain. 142 level seems heavy to me. Don't want to get greedy here. Happy with the trade. Made about 40% on Walmart. So I'm out of that. All right. All right, so we are, what do we got? Non-farm payrolls, 467. Why are these numbers so whacked? Unemployment rate, 4%. So it's slightly higher, the unemployment rate. Manufacturing payrolls. Yeah, just watch out for 142 on Walmart, guys. I'll show you why. This is why I took profits on it. So I took profits because of 142. Right here. You can see resistance or support, resistance. And look at what it touched yesterday. Look at what this damn stock touched yesterday. Look at the high of day. This high of day is 141.99. 141.99 yesterday. So just be careful of that 142, guys. I think it might be a little bit of a rejection level. That's why I took profits. Just to let you know. Just watch out for 142. All right, it looks like this might push us below this golden zone here. So let's keep an eye on it today, guys. Looks like the numbers are causing a little bit of weakness. Here we go. Payrolls gained 467,000 in January despite Omicron surge. Looks like the market is moving lower off that. And the only thing that we really need to watch out for is the fact that we are starting to push below this golden area that I am watching on the NASDAQ. So we need to hold that level. All right, that is the level to watch. ES starting to push lower into that level as well. The YM, very same thing. Russell's weak. If you're looking for downside today, it might be the Russell. So yeah, NASDAQ's breaking through, guys. This might be a day where we get a little bit of, it might be some, questionable action here. Might be a lot of volatility, might be some downside. If we hold below this 14.5 level, which we are pushing through right now, there might be some morning pump fakes. You might get a little bit of a morning bull trap or something like that. But just watch this, guys. This is breaking down below a pretty key level here. If we break the lows of yesterday, then I would say things get a little bit interesting, right? If we break the lows of yesterday, then things are going to get a little interesting here. All right. So now I'm definitely interested in that Netflix downside. NVIDIA. NVIDIA. So this is a very big level on NVIDIA too, guys. This is sort of like that golden zone on the stock instead of the actual indice. If I go to the hourly chart on NVIDIA, you guys are going to see. Look at this important level on NVIDIA, guys. Right here, you have this 240 level. So that is what I'm watching today. What does it want to do at 240? Can I get downside or do I see a bounce? Can I get some easy slippage under 240? Can I get a nice trade under 240? Resistance, resistance, resistance. You want to see that turn into support, support, support. If it does not work, if it does not hold, then you probably should see a slip. So I am definitely going to be watching NVIDIA here around this key level today. What does it want to do at 240? You can see in the past few days, we've gotten some pretty crazy holds. Support, 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 support. Does it finally crack below? That is what I am going to be watching, right? That's what I'm going to be watching today. U.S. interest rate futures imply more than 5 hikes in 2022 after U.S. jobs data. Yeah, there you go. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see where it causes the market. NVIDIA 240, guys, that's what I'm watching. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting day, guys. You're going to have to definitely watch out for what these futures are doing here. Right now, you're trying to hold yesterday's lows, actually, right on the level. Looks like you're trying to hold the exact level of yesterday's lows right now. Just watch out for that breakdown. All right, oil /CL. This has been a wild move, and maybe it continues with today's. Maybe it continues today. But look at this. Look at this oil move, guys. Oil futures. This is /CL. Been on an absolutely huge move to the upside. It's up to $92 this morning. This is most likely going to move the XLE because of the high correlation to XOM and CVX. So CVX, XLE, two of the larger energy names, and you guys can see what these stocks have been doing. So keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this move today. We have a push high of 137, and we have XOM on a high of 81.50, right around there, right? So watch those highs today. Watch energy today. Watch those oil futures. Just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of this big push that's going on in oil, right? Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Facebook. Ooh, a little bit of downside on Facebook. You guys can see we're starting to tap that 235 again, actually. All right, so where is Facebook holding? If I got to pull out more time here, you guys can see Facebook is filling this gap. It's funny. Gaps, they tend to be filled, right? And you never know how long it may take, but eventually it comes back to that level. You guys can see this is there was a gap here back on earnings July 30th of 2020. July 30th of 2020, we got a gap up on earnings and we continued. We never filled it. Now, what is it doing right now? It just went ahead, pulled back. You guys can see this is the gap level. If I zoom into the closer term time frames, look at what it's doing right now. Look at that. Hold, right at the gap level. So, does it hold this level today? That's what I'm watching. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Hold and hold. Gap level is officially filled. Does it hold that level? If not, if it drops below there, 220s, 222, 223, maybe around there. But I would be on the, it depends on what the market does, of course. If the market just gets, crushed today and we get a lot of downside because of this economic news and over the overall weakness, then I would say you probably break the 235. You probably come back to around 223s and then maybe around these 217s. So that's what I would watch. Watch Facebook under this 235. That's a big level. If you do crack below that, 235 or 225s, 220s, that would be my next watch. But you can clearly see gap fill is there. It will be very interesting to see what happens. What's the NASDAQ up to? Yeah, we're bouncing right off yesterday's lows. You guys see these candles? I hate when my thinkorswim does this, man. It doesn't let me zoom in. You can see, look at these little candles right here. Wick up, wick up, wick up, wick up. That's why you got your push. Now, if you get that, that's nasty. So keep an eye on this level here, guys, on the NASDAQ. Just keeping you updated. Google. So just a really nasty rejection on Google, right, guys? We got that big move higher off of earnings. Great earnings. You know, can't take anything away from the stock or the company, right? They're a great company, regardless of what this stock does because of the market. Google is a great company and continues to do fantastic. We're getting the rejection, and I think the real reason why we're getting the rejection is because of the overall market, right? It's hard to see Google pushing through highs and continuing with the overall market that just is getting no love, right? So this makes sense to me. I'm not really concerned about Google. If you guys are in Google's shares, I wouldn't be concerned about this. For the time being, it's just you're getting a pullback because of the overall market. You can't get a stock over all-time highs when the overall indice is just not doing well. So it was a nice push. Probably a lot of people took profits here. If they're just short-term trading it or they just want out of their shares on an all-time high push. I'm sure a lot of people just went ahead and unloaded there at all-time highs. You get the move blower. Do you fill the gap? Maybe. What's the high of this candle? High of this candle is 27.64. So right around here. Right around there. You can check out the mouse and keyboard that I use. I think it's in the description of this live stream from MSI. I think you actually get a discount if it's still going. I think it's there. Let me know if it's there, guys. It should be. So yeah, mechanical keyboard. I would definitely get that. MSI has some nice ones. Shout out to MSI. So Google, nice push. You guys can see rejection right there. Pull back. The gap fill would be right here at 27.64. 27.64. I'll go ahead and... So where is it? This keyboard is... I have this one. I love this thing. It's mechanical. It's like really clicky. I really like this one. If you guys are interested. Vigor GK50 Elite gaming keyboard. Very clicky, very nice. Mechanical. I love it. All right. So that's Google. 2760s. That's the gap fill level. Definitely interested to see if it does fill that gap today, guys. That's something I will be watching. Qualcomm. So daily chart. You guys can see. Look at what happened. Right? We talked about this yesterday. We talked about, hey, look at Qualcomm. Does it get over this high? Can we actually get the push? All right? Can we actually break highs and move higher? It looks like it's the same story as Google, right? Can a stock like Qualcomm really get over highs and continue, even though the overall market has been just really, really crappy? It looks like that's the same scenario here, guys. We're just getting another all-time high rejection, another, big supply level rejection right here. Big candle to the downside. It's hard to trade Qualcomm because, the mats are going to be... So if you guys are interested, the mats are... the pre-orders stop in about 10 days. So if you guys want to get Options Insider mat, the pre-order ends in 10 days. So if you guys are interested, you guys can go to this link and you can see the desk mat. If you guys are interested, you can pre-order it. Pre-orders end in 10 days. If anyone wants to grab one of those, they're sweet, man. It changes the whole look of the office. So Qualcomm, 190, big rejection, quadruple top, you could call it. And it's just difficult to trade Qualcomm because, you just don't quite know what it's going to do here. It looks like it just wants to be range bound. So I'm not so into trading stocks that are range bound, but we'll see. I mean, I would like to either see the breakdown of 157 or the breakout of 190. That would be great. I think Qualcomm still has a lot of strength. The company's still doing fantastic, but it's just really stuck up here. So I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit patient. I'm a little bit concerned of trading a stock that's chopping like this, but definitely a stock that I'm continuing to watch. Want to see it start to make an actual move. That's what I'm waiting for. All right, so that's what I have for you guys. Let's take another quick look at the NASDAQ, and then let's go ahead and get into some of the stocks that you guys want to look at. So we can see right now the NASDAQ is holding yesterday's lows. Middle, you press the mouse. You press the middle, the scroll button. Press the scroll button down, guys. See? Look at that. Scroll button. If I make a line, I press the little, I go from line to hand, line to hand, line to hand, line to hand, press it, delete, line, hand, press it, delete. It's not a hotkey. Line, press it, delete. Right? Line with the scroll, the middle scroll, press the hand, press the delete. All right, so what stocks do you guys want to look at today? Let's take a look. Hopefully it's not AMC and GameStop. Let's take a look. All right, we got some good ones. Disney. It's in the description, guys. The mouse and keyboards that I use, they should be in the description. If they're not, I must have missed it, but it should be in there. Disney, beat up, but trend form. Yeah, let's take a look. Disney has been beat up. AMD, yeah, I can jump over to AMD if we have some time. So, looks like Disney's just stuck, man. It's... I would like Disney to wake up, but... I don't know, man. It's just stuck. It's just not really like I just don't see the growth right now. 1-800-Flowers. Yeah, let's go over that. So you have some previous support, previous resistance, potentially turning into support here. I mean, dude, I just showed you how I delete trend lines with my mouse. I mean, you're going to ask it again with the hotkey. I don't have it hotkey. I just did it with my mouse. I just went over it for about 5 minutes that I shouldn't have. I wasted 5 minutes of everyone's time here. I just showed you. So Disney, we're holding that daily chart, the daily chart level here around 134. You can see it right here. But, whoever put this in, I don't know. I mean, if it's maybe some long-term shares, starting to get your, an investment in Disney for the long term, yeah, I think that's probably not a bad idea. But, this chart right here just does not show me much upside, right? I mean, it just doesn't really, it's not giving me any type of confirmation. So it's hard for me to give you an honest opinion here. What you can actually see is still very much weakness. You can see previous support turning into resistance, actually. See, support into a really nasty rejection. So, I don't know. Just be careful. Whoever put in Disney, I would probably want to see it over 144, and then start to get some type of upside confirmation. Because right now, it's just a little bit too beat down for me. In long-term investments, dollar cost average, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. But, for a trade, looks a little bit tough. Looks a little bit tough. Neo. This is another stock that I think every pop gets sold into, guys, for the time being. It's just, you guys seen small caps. You've seen, these stocks. They're still just not in favor. They're just not in favor. The only time I would even think about getting into Neo here is if it was to break this 28 level, right? I would never trade Neo personally, but if it was to get over 28, that would be where I would look for upside. If you can get over that, because anything below 28, guys, it's pretty obvious. I mean, you can see it right here, right? This is a nasty level, and if you push into 28, I can almost guarantee you reject that level. This is a very tough level. Support, 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 support. That is going to turn into nasty rejection. The upside is just not quite there for me. I don't see the margin, to trust this. If I was in this trade, I wouldn't even want to touch it near, if I was to swing this, I would want to get out as soon as I can around this 28, and that's just not enough upside for me, to get it. And then look at the trend overall. These stocks, guys, they're just not good. That's all I can say. They're just not good right now. You got to understand the feeling in the market, right? Small caps are not good. They are just not getting any momentum. You guys can see the Russell. Why is the Russell the weakest index? It's because small caps are not good. NEO is sort of grouped into that. Not good. No buyers here. So I would think every pop gets sold into until something in this market changes, until risk on changes, a risk on environment where people start getting back into small caps, which is just not happening right now. If that scenario comes, then yeah, I'll reassess my thought process. But right now, small caps are just not, they're not cool anymore. They're not cool anymore. Small caps is what a lot of people came into this market on, right? A lot of newer traders came into this market when we had small caps breaking out. You had a lot of momentum in your small cap names, and those same investors are now stuck looking at these same stocks when they're just not doing anything. So, it's tough because, maybe you came into this market watching NEO, watching, XPEV, watching, AMC GameStop, watching, SBCE and Peloton and FSLY, Palantir, DraftKings, Stitch Fix, Penn National. These are all the stocks that most people come into the stock market looking at. Dollar Tree. What else? You guys can call out the tickers. You probably know them off the top of your head. These are the tickers that a lot of people came into this market, coming in looking for plays on it, but it's just no longer. Those stocks are just not doing it anymore. So Zscaler, big downtrend here. A little bit of an inverse head and shoulders. I actually see that. Good call out. Yeah. You just need to hold this neckline. You need to hold this neckline on ZS right here at 243. You got to hold that if you're looking at this inverse head and shoulders. That is a must hold right there. So just watch that. Tesla. Yeah, let's go over Tesla. Tesla just it's stuck, man. It's stuck. That's all I got for you. It's just stuck. Until it's not stuck, it's stuck. That's what happens with Tesla. Until it actually makes a move, it's just nothing. So right now, guys, Tesla is just a shit show chop fest. That's all it's been for the last few days, and it's going to take a lot of money from you. It's going to stop reading my watch list. It's going to take a lot of money from you in this chop unless you are just, absolutely perfect at executing these moves. So just be careful, guys. This is, I'm probably not going to be very interested in Tesla in between 960 and 860. This 100-point range is, where market makers make all their money. They're just chopping you around and they're taking money from you. So I would wait for the actual move here. Where does it break down? Where does it break out? That's what I'm looking for on Tesla. Because right now, guys, this chart does just not look good for someone that's trying to trade an actual move, right? Look at this. You need to get the breakdown or the breakout. If you get that, I promise you, let's say you're like making $100 here, losing $100 here, making $100 here every day, trying to trade Tesla here. I can guarantee you that you're going to make more if you just didn't do anything and you waited for this, right? You'll make more money if you just wait for the days where, you start to get the actual move start to unfold rather than trying to trade it in the chop. So I would stay patient here on Tesla. Let's wait and see what actually occurs. I would watch 860 and 960. All right, we're going to go over 4 more, and we're going to have to do it quick. I sold Walmart, Will. Talked about it earlier. Sold Walmart, 40% gain. Sold it on Tuesday. I saw it pushing into 142, went ahead and took profits. AMD. Yeah, guys, AMD pushed into just a nasty level. I should have taken this trade. This was too obvious. Look at this. So support, big time resistance. That's all I got for you. I mean, that's just going to be a really tough level to get above. I don't think we're going to get above it in any type of market that we're seeing right now. 4-hour chart. This looks like the support level I would watch, right around 117, 118. So you got 117, 118 support, and you got 131 resistance. Those are the levels I'd watch. You have to hold this 117, and you need to break above the 131. VRTX, Vertex Pharma. If this, yeah, I mean, it's a biotech, guys. Tough, but it looks like, it's in a nice uptrend. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like they had earnings recently. I never would buy a stock that's extended this far over the 20 SMA. That's always a rule for me, guys. If I see a stock that's extended this far over the 20, I'll always look away from it. Especially when I see in the past that it bounces off the 20 and it always comes back to the 20. Look, guys, it's very obvious, right? I know your mind, I know like some people's minds, they think oh my God, it's breaking out. I need to get into it. But look at what this stock does every time it deviates over the 20. Deviation over the 20, pull back to it. Deviation over the 20, pulls back to it. So why not wait for the fact that it is deviated over the 20 and wait for it to pull back to it? It'll catch up. Trust me. It'll do something like this. This blue, turn this blue, right? It'll do this. Wait for that pullback. The deviation from the 20 SMA, wait for the pullback, buy it here, and then look for that move, right? Don't just buy it because it's breaking out. NiSource. I don't know much about this company. Maybe rejection up here around 30. That's what I'd watch. Just a huge cup. Right up to 30. Big resistance. Last but not least, Blackstone. Blackstone. 50 SMA bounce on the weekly. Looks like it could be forming a little bit of a head and shoulders formation. Watch out for that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So watch out for that right shoulder. 137 on BX, Blackstone. 137. All right, guys. What's the NASDAQ doing? Dying? Yeah, folks. Yeah. We're breaking down. We're breaking down below the levels. Nice. Yeah, look. Take a look. You can see yesterday's lows. We got the slit right there. Got the slit. So take it easy today, guys. Don't buy puts at open because you're like, oh my God, we're going down big time, and I'm buying puts right at open, and I don't even care what happens. Not something I would do. Let's see what the market does. If we push, let's look for a fake bounce. Yeah, Blackstone's a good company. Let's look for a fake bounce. Let's look for the rejection, and then let's play it to the downside. Let's get a better entry. Let's not chase downside. Let's get a fake bounce. Get the move lower. Definitely weak today. It's going to be interesting. Good luck. Happy Friday. If you guys don't feel it today, take the day off. Never want to end the week on a bad note. That's something that I am very, very big on. I never want to end the week on a red note. So if I'm not feeling it today, I'll probably not do much. If I find anything good, I'll see if I can take it. But that's my goal today. Don't end weeks on a red note. So thank you, guys. If you want to check out the Options Insider merchandise and the desk mat, I've still got to learn how to position my hands. This is harder than it looks, guys. Right there. So there's your merch and the desk mat if you guys want to check that out. And the NASDAQ is falling. we are falling. This could be a nice little day to the downside. There isn't probably much support until... It's not much support in here. All right, you just got chop. A lot of chop. You're back in the chop. All right, guys. Have a fantastic day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you Monday. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace out.